Hello makers and welcome back to Spectiva Studios. Really good to have you here. Now today I want to talk about something that artists don't normally talk about, and that is what is the process for signing your artwork when it's completed. We really don't think about this a lot, but as an artist, every time I'm done with a piece of work and I want to put my signature or at least note who the creator was, how do I go about through that process? So it's varied. Every single year that I've been making art, I've done different things and put my name in there and put the date, the year in there. But I also have tried to mix it up and do different things in different years. I don't know, mostly because I know how my brain works and I want to keep myself entertained. So for example, in 2020, let's see if we can get this up close here. I was signing all of my artwork with a symbol here and then just putting in the date. So if you knew who I was, you'd be able to figure it out. And part of my thinking is I didn't want to just throw my name and have it be the thing that really detracted from the artwork, if we're being honest. I really wanted it to be just a little thing. And of course, on the back of all of my pieces of art, I put in information as to what the name of it was, when it was created, and my signature goes there as well. But just on the front place, we could do that. Now, in 2001, I decided to mix it up a little bit and I put it in here with kind of a code. So I put in my name and then I'd put in a couple dots, so missing dots for the 0, and so 2021. Well, that's what I was doing there. And it was just, again, something to keep me entertained, something to differentiate different year, different signature. And then, I don't know, I kind of lost track of what was going on, and then things got, well, I got a little boring, and I started putting my name in the year. And 2023, I'd leave a symbol here as well as part of the artwork I was doing, and for last year, again. Not exciting, but it was also something that didn't take a lot of thought, and I could do it easily. But in 2025, I said, you know what? I want to do something that looks a little bit more kind of like what I really wish I could do, which is I really wish I had a great signature. I wish I had a great flourishing signature that I could put onto my artwork, and there it is. But here's the reality. I write like a boy. I look like somebody grabbed a crayon and vandalized the artwork when it was done. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. However, there are people out there who have a better skill set than I do. And I reached out to some folks and I had them create for me a signature. And some of you have probably seen these and may have even done it yourself. It's a service that people will offer, give you a great, there's your signature. Even though it's not really my signature because I can't make things look that good. But here it is. And I use it in when I post my videos. I oftentimes will put this on my artwork as a digital stamp, as it were. But I really like the signature. Wish I could kind of write that way, but I can't. But I thought, you know what would be cool is if I had a piece of artwork that I could sign using this signature. So I reached out to some other really smart people, and what they created for me is what we have here, which is basically just a sheet of iron-on signatures. That's right. So this company, and I'll put the information in the description below to share with you, this company will take whatever you want and put it into a format so you can create an iron-on version of it. So if you have a logo or just something whimsical that you want to be able to use, you have access to it. So let me show you how all of this works. Now, as I may have mentioned, this is about iron-on. So one of the things you're going to need is an iron. So I have my iron here. And by the way, I'm setting it to just a little bit higher than wool. I don't know, wool cotton range, if you're familiar with the settings on your iron. I don't know exactly what's too hot or too cool here, but I've done this a few times and it's worked out really well. Now, the next thing I want to be able to do is I want to protect my cutting surface. I don't know if you know this or not, but your Fiskars cutting mat does not enjoy being ironed on. Ask me how I know this, right? So what I want to do here is I'm going to put a little protection down. And my protection is going to be in the form of just a piece of, I have a piece of cardboard here, just the backing from one of my watercolor pads. That'll be good. And then I'm going to put a towel down here as well. Again, this gives me something to also iron on. And then I'm going to have a piece of paper that I'm going to work on in this instance. And what I want to do is I'm going to grab a pair of scissors. And let me cut out one of my signatures here that I can use. I'll grab this guy down here at the bottom. And I'm just going to simply cut out one of the iron-ons. They put a whole bunch in here. They managed to kind of pack them all in beautifully for me. And my thought is, why don't I sign this piece before I've even created it? But I'll put my signature right there in that corner. Now, the other thing that I'm going to want to do, most likely, and I'm going to just take, again, I just have another piece of this small watercolor paper that I'm working with here. I'm just going to make a sandwich here. I'm not sure how well the iron's going to do if it comes direct in contact with the plastic on the back of that. so we don't have to tempt fate. Again, my whole focus here is just making sure this is positioned the way I want it to be positioned. I'm going to put it at that angle there. Here we go, and we'll see if the iron is up to heat. And again, I want to make sure we're protecting our cutting surface. If you don't have a big cutting surface, I still recommend putting something like a towel down. It's just going to make life a lot easier for you, not to ruin the surface of whatever you are ironing on, because irons can be a little aggressive. So I'm coming in here, and I'm just going to, again, just keep the iron moving a little bit. And what I do oftentimes is I'll touch with my hand to get a sense of how hot things are. It's doing a pretty good job. And then come back in here again. I just want to make sure that the fusible aspects of that iron-on are fusing. And I can come in here and I can test it as well. So I'm going to lift up here, and what I'm going to do now is come in here and try to grab the corner. I'm going to peel it away and see if everything goes according to plan. Again, take it slowly. Oh, we get the G's a little weird. Got a couple places where, there we go. There we go, it happened. And we'll let that cool down. But there it is, so it comes across really nice, and hopefully you can see this on camera. But a signature that frankly is not a signature I could have ever created comfortably myself. And what I'll often do once I have the signature on is I can come in here and I'll put the year. So 2025 for where we currently are. And again, it allows me an alternative to just, doing something boring and make it a lot more fun. So, and again, I'll share all this information with you, the vendors I worked with to get to this point. And if it's the kind of thing you might find some value in, happy to be able to share this with you. Anyway, that's all I have for you this week. A short and dirty one, but something I think you might find very interesting in the long run. That's all I have for you this week. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Spider, and I'll see you next time.